Hey, this is Mike Hillard, Cornet Theory, and today I'd like to share with you the Pixel Daily time lapses that I recorded back in May, and these were the final Pixel Dailies I had done after a month and a half of doing them every single day. So this first set is Gramophone, Bird, and Suit was supposed to be like a business suit, but I thought I'd be clever and do cards instead. And these were done with a screenshot software, a screenshot every 7 seconds or so it's about 3 hours long. For this next set, this was streamed live on Twitch, so the video is a bit more smooth. It's Popeye and Eco. At this point, I have the reference photos and the theme on the video. I had a lot more time to spend on these, so about 4 or 5 hours. And the third and final set was a set of 5 Pixel Dailies, done over the course of 4 or 5 hours. Again, this was done with the screenshot software, so it may be a bit harder to follow than the previous one, but hopefully it's still useful for you. Well, on to the time lapses. Please leave any comments or questions you have in the comment section below. And of course, like always, like and subscribe if you like what you see. Also, gotta give a big shout out to Mate Yan, Pixel Art Academy, for giving me the inspiration to do this in the first place, and of course Pixel Dailies for giving me the themes and providing us all with such great Twitter feeds. And last but not least, Asaprite, Pixel Art software. Hope I'm pronouncing that properly. It's cheap, it's on Steam, you have no excuses. Buy it now. Alright, this first one is Gramophone. I had a real tough time trying to mirror and get these egg shapes, the little grill pattern looking correct. But in the end, I was able to get something that looked good when you repeated it, when you flipped it around. And the rest of this is just filling in matte colors and then adding lowlights and then highlights, just kind of the same loop I go into. Or sometimes the highlights first, the lowlights first. These little tiny screws, trying to make them each different. And of course the nice metal texture. And you kind of won't see it in the time lapse here, but I threw in the record down there with a little highlight on it. The arm. And cleaning it up. And next is the suit theme. Tried to do some anti-aliasing manually as kind of practice for that. In these pauses, I'm looking for references and such. And this is Jose Carioca from Saludos Amigos. And of course, Three Caballeros, Disney character, for the bird theme. I kind of looked up to see if anybody had done him as the bird, and no one had, so I thought I'd again be a unique snowflake and give him a go. He's got his cigar and his hat, and of course base shapes, form, trying to give him not the Disney look, trying to give him his own cartoonish look to make it distinctive, and then just playing with the proportions, being a little off model. Right, so you notice the jump in quality. Jumping to Twitch. Had a test pattern up there, maybe 1 or 2 frames of a Pixel Daily that I had never finished and didn't throw up there. Now, admittedly, I had not played Eco, so when this was the theme, I was like, oh, what's this? So I kind of just did the box art for it, and had a lot of fun laying this out on the kind of perspective box, looking at the original box art. And again, it's just a matter of laying in the basic shapes, the proportions, and then going around adding some detail here and there. It's a very nice shrubbery there. And then again, the Sony logo down there. Tried to be super detailed. This part is neat, the buildings in the background. So yeah, I decided to do this in a different layer just because, just to make it a little bit clearer. Also, I thought I'd extend this box out just a bit. Do some finishing touches here. And here we go. So getting them lips right. Just a lot of trial and error, looking at the big and the small together, just trying to get that looking right. And there you have it, Eco. T for teen. So Popeye. So of course the theme was Popeye. I thought I'd do my favorite version of Popeye, good old Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall. So I started out by laying out the basic shapes of the characters. And cleaning that up, and then doing another layer. I did the background on a different layer. And again, just laying out shapes with the base color, adding in lowlights, adding in highlights. And I thought I'd mention I'm working in the 2600 palette, and so for this background, I thought I'd stick with that one hue gradient to kind of set it apart from the colorful foreground. But also because that's kind of what's going on in the original photo. It's kind of a sepia for the background. So now on to Popeye and olive oil. Tried to really emphasize his one open eye. And at some point, I'm not sure if it was there or not, but at some point, I corrected his trousers. He looked a bit too wide. It's kind of hard to see here because of the grid, but his belly is not really out past his hand. It's just it's the grid in the background. Now olive oil. I You'll see I go to her face and then off her face to work on something else. Uh, in the beginning, I just could not get this face right, so I spent a good amount of time, good amount of the stream adjusting this face. Just laying it out again. Goodness. I wish on this Twitch stream you could see the time in the bottom like the other two streams. Time just ticks by as I'm adjusting that. So I'm off the face. I'm done. Go somewhere else. And so at this point, I'm liking that extra pixel. That's one thing where one pixel can change the entire look of someone from being from frowning to smiling. So I like that about the about that. But I also thought putting that big old pink pixel there would be too much. So you'll see I kind of added in as a brown pixel. There has a little highlight, so it's kind of still there, and I think that was a great compromise. A great lesson in how one pixel can change an expression. Yep, now I'm just going back and adding in all the highlights of the whites. And I'm done with this guy. All right, so here's the backpack. This is my my camera backpack, my bag when I go traveling and take photos. This is a Low Pro. I forget the the model number, but kind of did it from memory actually. So hopefully it looks good enough. And now on to this piano. This is my my Casio piano from the '80s. I love this thing, so I thought I'd give it some love for this Pixel Daily. Making sure all the little buttons and labels are all in the right spot, and there's the right amount of words up there. Those are all the patch settings. It's a big old list of where the trumpets and basses and stuff are. And now Kid Icarus. I tried to do I did Simon Belmont before as a ridiculous close-up, and so now I did Kid Icarus the same way from the Captain N series. Again, just trying to be unique because everyone else doing from the game itself or from other media, so I chose Captain N. And now, deodorant. This was quite daunting. I looked at this image and thought, how the hell am I going to do this in pixels? As you can see, I kind of use that dark green not as a color but as a value, just to try and get a color between that brown and that tan to give him some more values. Working with the limited palette. This is the goblet from Indiana Jones. The cup that's not the cup of Jesus. It's the one that makes you an old man. And there you go. As always, thanks for joining me for these time lapses, and if they're helpful, please let me know in the comments, and perhaps we can make some more of these in the future. Again, thanks for watching.